86, and here are 5+ delicate reasons I regret moving into a nursing home you should know before deciding. Welcome to Golden Wisdom. I'm 86 years old, and today I want to share a very personal truth. A few years ago, I made the decision to move into a nursing home. And while many people might say it was for the best, I often look back with quiet regret. This video isn't about complaints. It's about wisdom earned the hard way. If you or someone you love is considering a nursing home, here are some delicate but important truths I've learned. Things I wish someone had told me earlier. The first and most painful change was losing my freedom. Before, I could decide when to wake up, when to nap, when to eat, when to go outside. I could have my tea at midnight if I wanted. In the nursing home, everything follows a rigid schedule. Breakfast is at a fixed time. Showers are scheduled, and even bathroom breaks sometimes come with delays. There's a subtle message you receive every day. You no longer run your life. For someone who spent a lifetime raising a family, running a business, or making decisions, this loss cuts deep. I never imagined how deeply I'd miss something as simple as closing a door. In nursing homes, privacy becomes a luxury. You share rooms, you share nurses, and often you share your pain in front of strangers. Staff may knock, or they may not. Curtains are thin. Personal moments are rarely personal. When you're grieving, praying, or simply needing solitude, you realize how sacred privacy really is. Loneliness in a crowd is worse than loneliness in silence. In the nursing home, you're surrounded by people, yet you feel more alone than ever. Many residents are in poor health. Few speak. Conversations are shallow. Visits from family grow shorter, less frequent. The world you knew fades, and sometimes even your name is forgotten. You're bed 3, not grandma, not uncle, not baba. That kind of loneliness doesn't always show on your face, but it aches in your chest. I used to walk every evening, read a little before bed, make tea for guests. In the nursing home, my world shrunk to a single room and a corridor. Meals came to me. Meds were handed out. There was no need to move, so slowly I stopped. And when the body rests too much, the mind begins to rest too. Days blur, time floats, and without meaningful stimulation, you begin to fade without realizing it. One of the most painful emotions I experienced was feeling like I no longer belonged, like I was someone to be handled. The kind caregivers do their job, yes, but you can sense that your presence is in a nursing home, many of those responsibilities are taken away. At first, it feels like relief. Later, it feels like emptiness. What am I needed for? Why wake up today? When you no longer feel needed, you begin to feel invisible. And that is perhaps the cruelest part, fading away while still alive. Home has smells, sounds, and memories. The creak in the stairs, the old bookshelf, the wall where we marked our children's heights. In the nursing home, everything is sterile. Clean, yes, but cold. I missed my old chair, the window facing the street, the prayer mat near my bedside. When we lose our surroundings, we lose part of our story. And sometimes, that disconnect feels like a silent grief. Looking back, I realize I moved too soon. I had more strength than I thought. I could have hired part-time help or lived with family. I surrendered my independence because I was told it was safer. But I wish someone had reminded me, safety without dignity isn't living, it's surviving. Every elder's situation is different. Some nursing homes are kind and well-run. For many, they're the only option. But before you take that step or guide a loved one into it, ask deeper questions. Can dignity be preserved? Can privacy be protected? Can love still be felt? The first and most painful change was losing my freedom. Before, I could decide when to wake up, when to nap, when to eat, when to go outside. I could have my tea at midnight if I wanted. In the nursing home, everything follows a rigid schedule. Breakfast is at a fixed time, showers are scheduled, and even bathroom breaks sometimes come with delays. There's a subtle message you receive every day. You no longer run your life. For someone who spent a lifetime raising a family, running a business, or making decisions, this loss cuts deep. But I must also share another side of the truth. While I experienced regret, some of my fellow residents were genuinely happy to be there. You know why? Because before coming to the nursing home, they were completely ignored by their families and loved ones. No one called, no one visited, no one cared if they had eaten or taken their medicine. For them, the nursing home, with its nurses, meals, and a little company, felt like a blessing. It gave them safety, structure, and some human attention they never received at home. So, yes, everyone's story is different, and it's important to understand the emotional background before judging the decision. I've seen the pain, but I've also imagined the possibilities, and I'd like to share some ideas that could bring real happiness to our golden years. If we truly want nursing homes to feel like homes, not institutions, then we must make changes that honor the emotional, psychological, and spiritual needs of the elderly. First, give residents more control over their daily routines. Let them choose. Encourage small group activities, shared hobbies, and cultural or religious gatherings that make people feel alive and connected. Regular visits from volunteers, school children, or pets can bring warmth and joy. Also, mental health support is vital. Loneliness and depression should never be ignored. Lastly, involve the elderly in decision-making about their own lives, even if it's as simple as choosing the day's meal or activity. These small changes can restore a sense of dignity, purpose, and belonging, which every golden soul truly deserves. Let's take a deeper look at the realities behind nursing homes, beyond just walls and routines. Nursing homes are meant to provide safety and support, especially for those who can no longer manage daily life alone. But often, in trying to meet physical needs, the emotional and spiritual needs of the elderly are unintentionally neglected. Many residents begin to feel like they're just being maintained rather than truly living. This feeling isn't caused by lack of care, it's caused by a lack of human-centered care. A beautiful room and 3 meals a day do not replace the touch of a hand, a familiar voice, or a meaningful conversation. What elderly people miss most is not just independence, but belonging. They want to feel heard, useful, and seen. When they are surrounded only by medical staff and other aging bodies, and rarely visited by family, the soul begins to shrink. Even basic things like being called by name, being asked about their opinion, or being reminded of their value can make a deep difference. Another overlooked aspect is cultural and spiritual disconnect. Many nursing homes follow a standardized routine, but elders from diverse backgrounds have deeply rooted values, traditions, and rituals. Whether it's hearing a favorite religious recitation, celebrating cultural holidays, or simply eating food that reminds them of home, these experiences help keep their identity alive. Then there is the issue of loss of roles. In their own homes, elders are often the family storytellers, advisors, spiritual guides, or loving caretakers of grandchildren. In the nursing home, these roles disappear, and without roles, people begin to question their worth. Purpose is oxygen for the soul, and its absence can slowly break a person from within. Caregivers, though mostly well-meaning, are often overworked and underpaid. Many residents report feeling rushed, ignored, or treated like tasks instead of people. This isn't always the fault of individual nurses. It's the systemic structure that needs reform. Staff need better training not just in medical protocols, but in compassionate communication, elder psychology, and dignity-first caregiving. Even architecture plays a role. Long hallways, sterile lighting, noisy TVs, these are the silent killers of peace. Nursing homes should feel like sanctuaries, not hospitals. Soft lighting, green corners, personal decor, access to natural light, and safe outdoor walking areas can bring life back to a fading routine. In short, when designing and running nursing homes, we must remember we are not housing patients. We are caring for people who once lived rich, complex lives. People who built nations, raised families, loved deeply, suffered losses, and now seek respect more than treatment. Aging isn't the end of life, it's a continuation of a beautiful story. And no one should feel erased before their final chapter is complete. Thank you for giving me your time, your ear, and your heart today. If my words helped you reflect even a little, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Golden Wisdom. This channel is for those who believe that aging is not a weakness, it is a treasure. May your days be full of peace, purpose, and respect. See you soon in next video.